Good morning and thanks for joining us for KBY2 News Midday. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. Idaho State Police say a man died this morning in a three-vehicle crash in Elmore County. It happened just before 7 on Simcoe Road. State Police say the man was exiting a dairy when his vehicle collided with a van. His car was then hit by a school bus with 6 elementary and middle school students aboard. State Police confirmed no students were injured. The name of the man who died has not yet been released. Beginning today, voters in several Treasure Valley school districts can vote early on tax-based bond sales. In Ada County, polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, February 28th. Voting in Boise is at 400 North Benjamin Lane, Suite 100. This is for those who reside in the West Ada and Melba school districts in Ada County. In Canyon County, for voters in West Ada, Melba, Homedale, and Vallivue districts, polls are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Voting is at 1102 East Chicago Street in Caldwell. Early voting ends March 6th. There's no early voting in Owyhee County. This morning, the Ada County Critical Incident Task Force is handling the investigation of yesterday's officer-involved shooting on the Boise bench. The big question, what prompted a man in his 20s to use a crowbar to get inside a residence on Malad and then shoot into a neighborhood before he was killed by a gunfire from a Boise officer. That officer, Jason Green, is on administrative leave. The dead man's identity has not yet been released. The Bogus Basin Pass sale is now underway, and we found that even though snow conditions aren't great right now, that's not discouraging skiing fans. Early sales yesterday at the main ticket office looked promising.
You go 4 times and you've paid off your pass, so yeah, definitely a good deal.
All right.
Yeah, we'll never not buy a pass again. Let's put it that way.
An individual discounted season pass is $229 through Sunday, and after that it goes up to $259. And then on April 1st, the cost will be $299. The sale is extremely important to Bogus. It gives managers an idea of how well they're going to do financially this season. Chairman of the Idaho House Transportation and Defense Committee has introduced a bill that would raise Idaho's gas tax. It calls for an additional 8 cents a gallon on unleaded fuel, and for diesel, the tax would rise 12 cents. Then both would continue to go up a penny a year, tied to inflation. Lawmakers say the increase is needed to help fund work on the state's aging roads and bridges. They say the tax could raise nearly $200 million a year. An arbitration panel has ordered former cyclist Lance Armstrong to pay $10 million to a Dallas-based company. SCA Promotions sued Armstrong in 2013, citing fraud and conspiracy. SCA had paid the cyclist bonuses for 3 Tour de France victories in the early 2000s. Armstrong was later stripped of his Tour de France titles over allegations that he cheated. In 2013, he admitted that he'd used performance-enhancing drugs. He said he will fight the panel's decision. A fire is still burning in West Virginia after cars from a freight train derailed yesterday. The rail cars contained crude oil, thousands of gallons of crude oil. And that's what's fueling a fire that can be seen for miles. Hundreds of people living nearby were forced to leave their homes after the governor declared a state of emergency. The train was pulling 109 cars, 15 of them derailed, but the cause is still under investigation. The storm that gave much of the South its first taste of winter is now taking aim at the nation's capital and the Mid-Atlantic region. As a result, the federal government decided to shut down Washington area offices for most workers today. And that was expected to keep thousands of commuters off the roads and rails. Most instead were packing grocery stores.
The crowd is crowded. The line is probably from here to that second pole over there, just waiting in line to pay for it.
Air Force One landed at Joint Base Andrews last night as the snow began to fall. The president returning from a warm weekend in California. In the Northeast, bitterly cold temperatures have taken hold, with the wind chill reaching in some places below 0. The Idaho Department of Fish and Game is asking for your help developing new rules for the upcoming fishing rule book. Staffers with Fish and Game are holding several open houses to get anglers' input on proposed rule changes, including new regulations about how many fish you can take home. The open houses kick off this week in the Treasure Valley. The first one is today in Nampa from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Fish and Game office on Powerline Road. And fishermen in Boise will get their chance tomorrow at the MK Nature Center from 5 to 7 p.m. A clerical error more than a decade old could put the breakfast program in one school district at risk. According to our media partner, the Idaho Press Tribune, a Vallivue school district employee made a mistake on a 2003 application to join a federal program that provides free breakfast for all students, not just those meeting certain income requirements. Well, now the district has to decide whether to ask students who don't qualify for free lunch to start paying for breakfast, or spend about $50,000 to cover those kids until the end of the school year. Hey, it's Mardi Gras, and the French Quarter in New Orleans is even more raucous than usual. This is video from the Lundi Gras celebration, the party on the Monday before Fat Tuesday. This year, the cast of CBS's NCS New Orleans was asked to take part by appearing on one of the lead floats. The revelry really gears up as the day goes on, with partiers trying to grab as many of the traditional bead necklaces as they can get.